All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to be talking about Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford and an update that was given by people actually involved in the fight, which shoots down a lot of things that are being said about the fight. Not just that it's getting done, but other things related to deadlines and a little bit of Keith Thurman. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division where the drama keeps going on and on and on. But we've now gotten some pretty solid answer about the reports that have been out about the Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford fight that was rumored to be scheduled on June 17th for various reasons, some of them funny, some of them legitimate, and also some other reports that had come out about deadlines being set for the fight. And if it's not done by that time, that people are going to do certain things. But before I get into the details of it, let me welcome you back to the channel. And if you are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. We really do have excellent boxing conversations around here, and you will learn a lot about the sport of boxing between the videos and the live streams that we do. We don't always have to agree about the outcome, but the facts are going to be the facts, and you will definitely have great conversations with people in the comment sections. So hit the subscribe button and please participate in the conversations that take place down below the video. Also, if you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much. And I got to tell you, I separate subscribers from supporters. Thank you to the people that have subscribed and watched the videos, but to the supporters, double, triple thank you to everybody that supports in the super thanks of videos like this. It is a great way to continue to encourage boxing channels to continue to do this and have these very, very I think useful conversations and useful for a lot of reasons. In this particular instance, it's going to be useful because we're going to get rid of a lot of stuff that is out of there if you listen carefully. First and foremost, there were rumors out there that Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford would be fighting on June 17th and that particular deal was done. As it turns out, that fight is not done. And now it has been verified by multiple sources that it is not done. The first person to come out, and the reason I have to say this is because there continues to be conversation saying that somebody is just playing and not telling the truth. This fight is really, really done for reasons like Spectrum put it on their schedule. Even though Spectrum did not put it on their schedule, Spectrum had a date for June and in parentheses said Terence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr., when every other fight that they had on there actually had a date and there was no parentheses in it. Basically, that's what people are holding on to say that this fight is happening on June 17th. Now, even though there was no date on that particular thing. So anyway, Ring Magazine comes out and makes the report that that's what sources tell them. When that report came out, I told everybody where that report came from. That report, that source is the same source that everybody had been using for 2 weeks. Just seems to me that Ring Magazine tried to jump in there to make a quick headline for whatever reason, because there was nothing new about it. And then when the editor of Ring Magazine was asked about it, he stayed about as far away from committing to that being the truth as you possibly could. So Stephen Espinoza, who's the president of Showtime Sports, is asked about the question. I do believe he was asked by Danny of the Boxing Voice. At least that's what it's the voice that it sounded like to me. Shout out to the Boxing Voice. Shout out to Danny of the Boxing Voice. And he said no. That fight, and he said 99% of what you hear out there is not true. Now, what would that 1% be? He tells you what the 1% is, that they're in discussions. That's it. 1% over, and honestly, man, over 1% of the stuff that we hear about that stuff is the fact that they're in negotiations, that they're in talks. That has been acknowledged by everybody that they're in talks. And the matter of fact, the first person to ever say and confirm that the talks never stopped is Stephen Espinoza. So they're in talks. As far as the date, June 17th, what does Stephen Espinoza say? He said that is not even a deadline. He said we would not do that. We are not going to name a date for a fight until we have the deal all the way done, which is very, very telling. We're going to agree to everything. And after everything is done, the fight is a go. Then we'll talk about the date that we're having the fight, because doing that anytime before that is putting the cart before the horse, which is, in my opinion, very, very logical. However, where does that take you? It takes you to the last negotiation they had when people were talking about the date being too late. You have to agree to everything and then you talk about the date. So the fact that they were putting dates out there, they thought that they had agreed to everything. But anyway, there's somebody else that comes in and says something else about it, and that is Terence Crawford's trainer. Terence Crawford's trainer, Brian McIntyre, was asked about the fight, and he wasn't asked if the fight was made. He was asked about it, and he still is like, hopefully if it gets done. Hopefully if it gets done, which tells you what? That it's not done. Why? Because he said hopefully if it gets done. Not, oh yeah, he didn't even say we were close. It looks like he's like, yeah, there's a chance. Yeah, hopefully, the same words that they were using before. But anyway, all of this stuff that has been going on around for example, that he says that the deal is that if, for example, the claim that if they don't agree soon that Errol Spence is going to be fighting June 17th with or without Terence Crawford. That apparently is not true, because even though Stephen Espinoza is saying, hey man, Keith Thurman is a good backup, and he knows that most people really do want the Errol Spence Terence Crawford fight. But hey, man, that's a very, very good, acceptable fight. He still says that there's no date set for that, because again, you would have to agree to that fight before you actually get in and name a date. So, all in all, man, I'm gonna go with Jake Donovan. Jake Donovan is a writer. I think he's the editor in chief for Boxing Scene, but excellent writer. I'm gonna go with what he said, which is, look, man, I don't believe the fight's gonna happen. Right? It's just very tough for me to believe that Terence Crawford, first of all, that it takes Terence Crawford this long to agree to anything. I just don't believe it takes Terence Crawford this long to agree to anything. What else could there be? Stephen Espinoza says, there are still hurdles to overcome. I just have a feeling as long as Terence Crawford's involved in a negotiation that there's going to be hurdles to overcome. What hurdles can there be that have taken over, that have not been talked about and close to settled for over a year now? But anyway, that's just my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.